First of all, we have seen diplomacy being ineffective, rather failing in a number of cases. Even forums and organizations like the United Nations have been ineffective. So my question to you is, when it comes to especially Middle East, what we are seeing, what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in Russia, Ukraine, why do you think that these forums or diplomacy itself has actually failed to resolve all these conflicts?
Thank you for inviting me in your show. First of all, let me contextualize this term diplomacy. Actually, diplomacy is a tool. It is an instrument to conduct your foreign policy. There are two major tools in your foreign policy. One is war, other is diplomacy. Diplomacy is the art of negotiation. It is a peaceful way of settling your issues without going to war. When diplomacy fails, the result is the Ukrainian crisis. When diplomacy fails, the outcome is the Syrian crisis. When diplomacy fails, the result is the turmoil in the Middle East or across the globe that we see on a daily basis. Actually, as far as your question is concerned, diplomacy in Middle East and in all the conflict areas has failed at all levels. There's a diplomacy that you conduct that is called pre-war diplomacy, that you try to deter the war conflict and you try to resolve the issue without going to arms. It failed in case of Ukraine. It failed in case of Middle East and other conflicts around the world. Then there's a diplomacy during the war. There's an eruption of war conflict. Then you try to mitigate its effects. You try to limit its scope.
Right.
When you look at all these conflicts, diplomacy has failed at all levels. And let me put it candidly that America and the Western countries, they do not want diplomacy to succeed in case of Ukraine, because they have got the golden opportunity to bleed Russia economically and militarily, because conflict is contained, limited to the Ukraine. They are getting killed. They are just only being provided by the arms and hardwares. So Ukrainians, they are bleeding Russia.
Which they're happy to do. US, as you rightly pointed out, the US would want.
And it is a matter of survival for Russian state. It was a matter of survival for the Russian state to attack you. I strongly condemn the aggression. It is against the international laws. Lekin Western countries, especially America, they forced Russia to go to war.